It is Sunday, February 8th, 2026. And I want you to just take a second and look at whatever device you're listening to us on right now. Maybe it's a phone, maybe a laptop, maybe you're in a car that's, smarter than the house you grew up in.
Yeah, probably.
We're living in this world that's supposed to be more connected, more intelligent, more optimized than ever. But today we're going to poke some holes in that optimization.
We are indeed. Because if you scratch the surface of optimize, you usually find something, well, pretty messy underneath.
Exactly. We're diving into a stack of reports and market updates, specifically from TechWorld Bangladesh, which I love because it gives us this fantastic global vantage point.
Yeah, from the raw silicon in Asia all the way to the software giants in the US.
And the picture it's painting today is, well, it's full of friction.
Friction is a polite way to put it. I'd say we're looking at a system that's stretching itself pretty close to its breaking point.
I mean, we've got a major power outage at a Microsoft data center in the US that's just rippling across the globe. We have a chip crisis in China that's threatening to stall the AI revolution.
And then the consumer side.
Oh yeah. We've got rumors about the Xiaomi 17 that frankly make zero sense to me. And then there's some really, really alarming research on what all this tech is doing to teenagers.
It's a perfect storm, really. You have the physical infrastructure failing, the hardware supply chain is choking, there's consumer confusion, and then the social fallout. It's the full stack of problems.
So let's start at the top of that stack, the cloud. Or maybe the day the cloud stopped floating.
Right.
We have this report here about a significant outage at a Microsoft data center in the United States. Now, I know data center outages happen, a server blows a fuse, a cooling fan dies.
Yeah.
But this sounds different.
It is different. This wasn't some software bug or, a bad line of code pushed by an intern. This was a raw power failure.
Just the power went out.
The report specifies an electrical outage at the facility. It basically pulled the plug on a massive chunk of their infrastructure.
And the domino effect was immediate. The report says this wasn't just a few emails getting knocked out. It impacted the Microsoft Store and, much more critically, Windows Update.
And that's the part that should make people nervous.
Okay, explain that, because I think most people just see Windows Update as that annoying thing that restarts your computer when you're in the middle of something.
Sure.
Why is that critical infrastructure?
Because in 2026, the update pipeline is the immune system of the entire internet. We're not just downloading new wallpapers anymore. We're downloading critical security patches.
Virus definitions, hot fixes for zero-day exploits.
Exactly. So when Windows Update goes down globally because of a power outage in one specific region, you are effectively leaving millions and millions of devices vulnerable.
Wow.
It stops being an annoyance and it starts being a national security risk.
It really just highlights the lie of the cloud, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We use that word to make it sound so ethereal, like it's everywhere and nowhere at once.
It's not magic.
It's a building.
Yeah.
It's a building in Virginia or Texas that needs a massive amount of electricity from a physical wire.
Precisely. And we've spent the last decade centralizing everything. We moved our storage, our processing, our security keys, all of it into these massive hyperscale data centers.
Which makes sense for efficiency.
For efficiency, sure. But it creates these huge single points of failure. If the grid wobbles in the US, some user in Dhaka can't update their security protocols. That's a fragile system.
And you have to wonder about the redundancy. I mean, you'd assume a company like Microsoft has backup generators, further backup generators.
Sure, they do. But the demand for power in 2026 is just, it's unprecedented. These racks are running AI models now. They run so much hotter, draw so much more power than the old file servers.
Right.
So when you have a genuine grid failure, sometimes that switchover isn't as seamless as the brochure says it is. Physics still applies.
Well, speaking of physics and things that get hot, let's move from the US power grid over to the Chinese hardware market. Because if the software guys are struggling to keep the lights on, the hardware guys are struggling to find the brains to run the machines.
The chip wars. We haven't heard that headline in a while, but it is back with a vengeance.
Yeah, this report from TechWorld Bangladesh highlights a developing crisis with Intel and AMD processors in the Chinese market.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we fix all the supply chain issues after 2020? I thought chips were plentiful again.
We fixed the logistics. We didn't account for the pivot. This isn't a supply chain break where, a ship got stuck in a canal. This is a resource allocation war.
A resource war.
The report explicitly links this shortage to the rise of artificial intelligence infrastructure.
So because every company on Earth is trying to build its own AI model, they're just buying up all the available chips.
It's a bit more nuanced than that. It's not just that they're buying the chips, it's that the manufacturers, Intel, AMD, the fabs that build for them, are shifting their production lines.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. If you're a chip manufacturer and you can sell a high-end AI server processor for $10,000
Yeah.
or a standard consumer desktop chip for $200.
You're going to chase the AI gold rush, no question.
Exactly. The source mentions a huge surge in AI infrastructure investment. This means the demand for server processors has just skyrocketed. The shortage we're seeing everywhere else is collateral damage. It's cannibalization.
So the regular consumer or a small business trying to buy a normal fleet of laptops, they're now competing with Amazon and OpenAI for the same raw silicon.
In a way, yes. The manufacturing capacity is finite. It takes years and billions of dollars to build a new fab. So right now, it is a zero-sum game. If we want more AI, we're going to see shortages in legacy computing.
It feels like we're in this awkward teenage phase of the AI era. We want all the magic features, but we don't actually have the physical foundation to support them without breaking the rest of the economy.
That is the perfect way to describe 2026. We are trying to run a marathon while we are still sewing the shoes.
Yeah.
And the friction is showing up right here in these market reports. Prices are volatile, availability is spotty, and all the big players are scrambling.
Okay, so we've established the big iron, the servers, the data centers. It's all under stress. But I want to zoom in now. I want to look at the device in our pocket.
Yes.
Because if you think the industrial side is confusing, just wait until you hear what's happening with consumer smartphones.
You're talking about the Xiaomi rumors.
I am, and honestly, this one has me scratching my head.
Yeah.
We've got a report detailing leaks about the upcoming Xiaomi 17. There's some stuff about new colors, fine, whatever.
Right.
But the big news, the controversial part, is a potential reduction in battery size.
It sounds like market suicide, doesn't it?
It sounds insane. The source itself even points this out. It says, and I'm quoting, "Long battery backup is now the biggest demand for users."
Of course it is.
We're gaming, we're streaming 4K video, we are on 5G constantly, we need more power. Why on earth would a major manufacturer like Xiaomi look at that and say, you know what, let's make the battery smaller?
On the surface, it just defies all logic. If you ask 1,000 smartphone users what they want, 999 of them are going to say better battery life.
They're not going to say make it 1 millimeter thinner.
No, nobody cares about thinness anymore. We cared about making it through the day without having to carry a power bank.
So is Xiaomi just out of touch? Or is there something else going on? Do they know something we don't?
I think the answer is probably in the second part of that report, the part about the AI agents.
Okay, let's unpack that. The headline is, all AI agents will inform about battery performance data.
Right. Now, we need to read between the lines here. The report explains that battery health is incredibly complex. It depends on temperature, charging cycles, voltage regularities, all that.
Historically, phones were just dumb bricks. They just sucked power until they died. You had no real idea your battery was degrading until it was way too late.
Right. You just notice one day that your phone dies at 4 p.m. instead of 8 p.m.
Exactly. But now we have these AI agents embedded right into the OS. They aren't just informing you, they're very likely managing the power draw in real time.
Wow.
They're optimizing background processes, throttling the CPU when you don't need it, managing thermal profiles with, superhuman precision.
Okay, I think I see where you're going with this. You're saying Xiaomi thinks their AI is so efficient that they can actually shrink the physical battery and still get the same runtime.
That's the hypothesis. It's the Xiaomi paradox, if you will. They're making a bet that software intelligence can replace hardware capacity.
But I have to push back on that. I mean, running an AI agent costs power. We just talked about how AI is melting down data centers. If my phone is constantly running some complex algorithm to monitor my battery, isn't that just draining the battery faster? That is the million-dollar question. It's a true paradox. Can the AI actually save more energy than it consumes?
It feels like buying a heavier car because you think the momentum will save you gas. It just doesn't feel right.
It is a risky bet. And for the power users that the source mentioned, the gamers, the heavy streamers, I'm just not sure the math works out. Physics is stubborn.
Yeah.
If I'm rendering a high-end game, I need raw wattage. No amount of AI optimization can create energy that isn't stored in those chemical cells.
It almost feels like gaslighting, honestly. Don't worry about the smaller tank, the car drives smarter. Yeah, but I still run out of gas.
It is a shift in philosophy. We're moving from brute force engineering, big batteries, big chips, to intelligent engineering. But as we saw with the Microsoft outage, intelligence is fragile.
That's a good point.
A big battery is reliable, an AI agent is complex. If the software bugs out, your battery life just tanks.
It really is a theme today, isn't it? We're
Oh.
trading reliability for complexity. We are trading these big, dumb working systems for smart, fragile, interconnected ones.
And nowhere is that trade-off more apparent or more dangerous than in the last topic we need to cover, the human user.
Yeah. This one hit me pretty hard. We have a research report here about teenagers and smartphone usage. And the language isn't the usual kids spend too much time on TikTok.
Yeah.
The source uses a Bengali phrase to describe the findings. Bova toto.
Which translates roughly to terrible information or devastating data. This isn't just a mild concern, this is a full-blown alarm bell.
The report lays out this brutal tension. On one side, it says smartphones have become an essential part of teenagers' lives. It's not a toy. It's their link to school, to friends, to society. You can't just opt out.
Right. Taking a phone away from a teen in 2026 is like taking away a car in a rural town in 1990. You aren't just grounding them, you are exiling them. It's their infrastructure.
But on the other side, the research shows this infrastructure is becoming a primary source of anxiety and mental health crises. Parents are panicked, the teens are anxious, and yet no one can put the phone down.
It's a capture mechanism. I mean, think about what we just discussed with Xiaomi and the chips. The entire trillion-dollar tech industry, the AI agents, the server farms, the battery optimization, it's all designed for one singular purpose.
Engagement.
Engagement, to keep that screen on.
So we have the smartest engineers in the world using the most advanced AI chips to figure out how to keep a 14-year-old staring at a glowing rectangle, even while that rectangle is making them miserable.
That is the bovahotuoto. That's the terrible truth. The friction isn't just in the supply chain. The friction is between the business model of these devices and the biological needs of a human brain.
Wow.
The source mentions that parents are deeply concerned, but they feel helpless, because how do you fight an enemy that is also your child's lifeline?
And it connects back to the battery thing in this really dark way. We're talking about AI agents monitoring the health of the lithium-ion cell. Oh, your battery is degrading. Let's optimize the charging cycle.
Right. We have impeccable metrics for the hardware.
But where is the AI agent for the kid? Where's the notification that says, hey, your dopamine receptors are fried, your anxiety levels are spiking, you need to shut down for 8 hours?
We don't build that sensor because if we did, and the device actually told you to stop using it, the company would lose money.
That is the crux of it. The whole system is optimized for the health of the machine, not the health of the operator.
And that is why this research is so alarming. We've built a trap that is too essential to leave. We're sitting here worried about the fragility of the Microsoft cloud, but the fragility of the developing human mind is the real crisis here.
It really reframes this whole deep dive. We started out talking about power outages and chip shortages like they were the big problems.
And they are problems, but they're logistical problems. They can be fixed with money and concrete. The issue with teens and anxiety, that's a societal problem. You can't patch that with an update from Microsoft.
So if you're listening to this and you're feeling that friction, you're not crazy. The world of 2026 is pushing and pulling in all these weird directions. We've got fragile clouds, we have chip wars starving other industries, we have shrinking batteries gaslighting us into thinking they're better.
And we have a device in our pocket that is simultaneously our best friend and our worst enemy. It is a lot to process.
It is. But I want to leave you with one final thought. Something to chew on while you wait for your next Windows update to install.
Let's hear it.
We talked about that AI battery monitor, the one that says, hey, you're pushing this phone too hard, it's going to die early.
Right.
Maybe we need to stop waiting for the tech companies to build that for us. If an algorithm can tell when a piece of lithium is stressed out, surely we can start recognizing when we are. Do we really need an AI agent to tell us that our own mental battery is at 1%?
That's a powerful question. Maybe the smartest user isn't the one with the newest chip, but the one who knows where the off switch is.
Exactly. Check your own battery levels today, folks. The internal ones. Thanks for diving deep with us.
Take care, everyone.
We'll see you in the next one.